Hello and welcome to another edition of Conspirator Brock's Pull List. This is my pull list for the week of December 7th, 2016. So let's get right into it. First up, we have The Adventures of Archer and Armstrong, number 10. Again, like I said before, the first story arc in this was horrible, and I almost stopped reading, but it has gotten a lot better. The art's gotten better, so at least that was a saving grace. So I'm still enjoying it, still going with it, so yeah, awesome. Next up, we have Aquaman, number 12. I'm going to butcher the title of the story arc, but the Deluge, I don't remember. I'm caught up with Aquaman, so I'm curious to see where it goes from here. But overall, it has been a very, very good title since Rebirth launched. So yeah, good stuff. Next up, we are continuing the I Am Suicide story arc in Batman number 12. Really solid stuff from Tom King. If you have not yet read the Batman stuff, try and go find some of those early issues. If not, in January, the trade paperbacks of these books are going to start rolling out, so you can grab it there for you to enjoy. Next up, we have The Death of Hawkman, number 3 of 6. I like these little miniseries that DC is doing to kind of get different characters out there, especially with Hawkman and Adam Strange. So good stuff. I'm really enjoying that story. Next up, we have Ever After, number 4. If you liked Fables, I would highly recommend Ever After. If you haven't read Fables, Ever After is still good, and it might entice you to read Fables, because Fables is really good. Next up, we have Faith, number 6. Just a really fun book. I'm really digging it. It's nice to see, a different take on a female heroine. Yes, she does share some similarities with other journalists with superpowers, but overall, I'm really enjoying the Faith book. The miniseries that started it was good as well. Next up, we have number 6 of The Flintstones. This is cover 1. There is another cover to this. Both were horrible, so I just opted to get a cover number 1. But Flintstones number 6, really solid stuff from the Flintstones. It is definitely a book that is up there on my top books for the year. But if you have not yet gotten a chance, try and snag a copy of it, or look for second prints, because I think some of those are available for the earlier issues. But also, there's always going to be the trade paperback, hopefully hardcover, coming out. Next up, we have Emerald Outlaw Part 1 for Green Arrow, number 12. Green Arrow's been a fun book. I thought I wasn't going to like it very much starting out, but it's grown on me. It's not as good as the Jeff Lemire Sorrentino stuff, but again, it is definitely up there in a really solid book. Next up, we have Green Lanterns, number 12. We're continuing the Phantom Lantern story arc. The Phantom Lantern is basically anybody can wear a Phantom ring. So we shall see what Baz and Jessica Cruz, how they figure out how to deal with this new type of lantern. Next up, we have Harley Quinn, number 9. Now, this to me is like Tank Girl. This to me is Roller Derby Dorothy Harley, but I'm not sure who this Harley is. So if you have any idea, before I actually flip through the book to see what it is, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. I'm enjoying Harley. It's good. Amanda Conner and Jimmy Palmiotti do a really good job on the book. But again, I think I would like a little bit more of a variety with Harley. She's one of those characters that really benefits from kind of maybe another perspective, especially since her character is kind of all over the place. We were talking on the Comics Conspiracy podcast about how there's a little too much Harley, especially with like the minis that are out, like Little Black Book, they had the Power Girl mini, they had the Harley Quinn and her Gang of Harleys. So there's a lot of random Harley stuff that's coming out, and it's just Jimmy Palmiotti and Amanda Conner, which they're a great creative team. But I would like to see a little bit more, variety when it comes to who writes and draws Harley. But still enjoyed the book. I'm still picking it up because I love Harley. Next up is Justice League number 10. We're continuing the Outbreak story arc. it's been okay so far. Justice League is solid. It's not as good as the John stuff, but again, he sets a bar that's really, really hard to match. But enjoying Justice League overall, and I would recommend it as something if you want a team book. Next up, we have Ninjak number 22. This is it starts a new story arc. Looks like silent stand alone issue. So it's not a story arc, it's a standalone issue. I should have read the thing beforehand. Cool. It's nice to have standalone issues in comic book series because it kind of breaks up the flow of these story arcs and just one after another, and you sometimes can get event fatigue from a character where it's this constant. There's no really downtime or kind of a nice single issue just to enjoy. A memorable one, I can't remember the exact issue number, but it was Wolverine, and it came out after the Old Man Logan stuff. I think it's issue 73, but it's basically just kind of like a week in the life of Wolverine. Really, really solid book, singles issue wise, and if you get a chance, I would recommend reading it. So yeah, I like standalones. Next up, we have part 1 of Super Monster, Superman number 12. Looks like we're getting Frankenstein, and they brought in Frankenstein back in some action on the DCU. Tomasi's just been doing a fantastic job on Superman. I'm actually behind on Superman by 2 or 3 issues in the, I think 2 issues in the annual. So now I'm 3 issues back and an annual. So I need to get caught up with those. But overall, Superman is really, really good. And it's definitely up there on my top list for the year of books. So next up, we have all of the wonderful variant covers that came out from DC that I decided to pick up. The Aquaman is very basic, but it's pretty cool. It's the just war scrolled into like lava on the ocean floor. So I thought I liked that one. Tim Sale actually did a fairly decent Catwoman, so I grabbed the Batman number 12 variant cover this week. Green Lanterns number 12 was pretty cool looking, so I snagged that one. Harley, again, going with the Dorothy motif, is on the cover on the Yellow Brick Road. Yannicka Paquette did an interesting kind of silhouette cover there. A lot of people have been have not liked the Yannicka Paquette covers, but I've enjoyed them for the most part. And then again, we have the Superman 12 variant cover there. Yeah, so those are all the variant covers. Did get a couple special orders today for myself. They seem to just keep coming in. I'm like, I even forgot ordering this stuff. But one of the best things I got probably this year is my Jonah Hex t-shirt right there. Welcome, Jonah. Welcome to your death. Awesome stuff. I don't actually own a Jonah Hex t-shirt. I've liked the Jonah Hex character. If I do highly recommend reading Jonah Hex from the early 2000s, written by Jimmy Palmiotti. Why do I keep screwing up his name? Jimmy Palmiotti and Justin Gray. Really solid series. And then also, I highly recommend All-Star Western from the DC New 52. Really good stuff with Jonah Hex. So, yeah, good stuff. I mean, if you are looking for a different type of character, Jonah Hex is a really solid one. If you like the Wild West, you should be reading it, period. And then I got another one of these little DC Harley Quinn statues. I got the last week. I think I picked up the Christmas Harley Quinn, the Amanda Conner drawn one. So I now have this little one here. I do believe I got this one, which I think she's up there, but I don't remember. No, that one's black and white. This one has black, white, and red. So yeah, so it's a variation of the Bombshells one, just a smaller version, more reasonably priced, I would say. So yeah, so I can't wait to crack her open. Hopefully I'll be able to do an opening video on that. So now we're ready for the pull list, or sorry, my read list. These are the books I read to stay current and caught up with books, because I just don't want to, I'm not going to buy everything. Can't afford it. But first up we have Avengers number 2. Yep, that's Kang. Yep. Another Avengers book starts with a story arc with them fighting Kang. The first issue didn't really impress me very much. The art was atrocious in it, so I highly doubt I'm going to continue reading Avengers, but I am going to check out issue 2 because, I'll at least give it that. Next up, we have an Amazing Spider-Man event, Dead No More, The Clone Conspiracy, or Amazing Spider-Man Clone. I don't know what the fuck to call this thing. It's The Clone Conspiracy, issue 3. The first 2 issues were okay. I feel that the book suffers again from, hey, we're releasing The Clone Conspiracy, but you have to read certain things to fill in holes that we've left out in these books. I'm not a big fan of doing that, especially in single character stories. If you're going to tell a story, tell it through the entire universe of or family of books in that series. Batman and did the Night of the Monster Men, and it crossed over with Nightwing, Detective, and the Batman title, and it did a phenomenal job reading from one to the other to the other to the other, and that is the way to do it. When you go and you release a separate event book and then have the main book tie in, and then tie-ins from the other characters in that family, it gets convoluted, and it's not necessarily the most enjoyable thing to read, because if you just read the main thing, you might miss something that was in the Spider-Man book that you didn't read, or the tie-in book that you didn't read. So, yeah. We'll see. Next up, we have Dead Man Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love, number 2. Read issue 1, enjoyed it, so I'm going to check out issue 2. Yeah, so good stuff there. We have a new number 1 from Image. It's called Motor Crush. I'm going to give it a try, see how it is. It's got a cute chick on a bike with a baseball bat with nails in it, so it has potential. So we'll see how Motor Crush pans out. I try to read as many independent Image titles that come out, number 1s and other number 1s that I can get my hands on, to kind of just at least see what's out there. So yeah. Next up, we have a new number 1 from the Star Wars franchise over at Marvel, and that is Star Wars Dr. Aphra, number 1. Yeah, I'm really excited to see what they do on a solo book for her. She was introduced in the Darth Vader's book, and she became a really, really cool character, and I'm curious to see where this book goes, especially within the new canon, because, yeah, Rogue One's out next week, and I got tickets, so, yeah. Finally, on the read list, we have a Jason Aaron written book. I really enjoyed the first issue, so I'm looking forward to this issue, and that is the Unworthy Thor number 2. If you have not yet checked out the Unworthy Thor, I would highly recommend it. It is good stuff. I wanted to let everybody know that Nova number 1 came out. I flipped through it. It looks like complete and utter trash. They try to bring Rich Rider back, but I don't think it succeeds. I may or may not read it, but I'm not too inclined to want to pick it up, just because, yeah, it's still got Kid Nova in it, and Kid Nova sucks. And it still looks like a book for kids, but it's not. I don't know who's reading it. So yeah, a lot going on for me. I know I haven't given you guys an update on where things are right now, but the kids are doing okay. They enjoy school. Brody's doing great in kindergarten. He got his first report card, and it wasn't really a report card. It was just numbers saying satisfactory and all that stuff. So he's a very good average student. He likes art. He has been doing an art class on Thursday afternoons after school, and he enjoys it. So we'll see where that goes. If he wants to do it, continue to do it. Awesome. If he doesn't, we'll find something else, because he needs to be doing something. Yeah, shouldn't just be bored doing nothing. Hattie is doing wonderful at her daycare. She is enjoying it. She doesn't talk much about it, but she's happy to go in the mornings, and happy when I pick her up when I'm done with work. So that's going there. Yeah, so family doing okay. Holiday season's always fun, because yeah, it's the holiday season, and you have to run around and get presents. This year I'm just going to be doing my kids, because, yeah, yeah, so I'm rolling in the dough, not. So hopefully it's a nice holiday season. Hopefully you enjoy the time with your friends and family this year. And yeah, well, so we just finished recording episode number 288 of the Comic Conspiracy. You can check that out at www.geekbox.net. There will be a link in the description below. Again, like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I love seeing your comments down there of what you guys are getting or what your opinions are on certain things, or if you have a question, I love getting that stuff. I try to reply as often as I can, and in as timely of manner as I can. You can follow me on Twitter. My handle is @BrockSager. You can also help support me and my fellow conspirators at www.patreon.com/comicsconspiracy. For as little as $1 a month, you help us with hosting fees and food and just general running of a podcast that we've been doing for like 5 years. We do thank all of our Patreon backers. We do appreciate it. And if you are a Patreon backer, there's some sweet little bonus content for you. You get Bryce Brieflies, and also Toby and Charlie have been doing what they call a roundup, which is a general overview of TV nowadays, or just generally what they want to talk about when it comes to TV. So it's not comic book centered, so you can get a little bit something else from it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I know I need to get caught up on a lot of stuff. I'm behind on my TV. I know the big CW 4-part crossover was up. I haven't had a chance to watch it. I'm behind on Arrow. I'm behind on Flash, all Legends, all that stuff. So hopefully at the break I can get caught up with these and get up to speed on them. So yeah, Suicide Squad, the extended version, comes out on Blu-ray next week. So I've pre-ordered my copy, so I'm super excited for that to be coming. I'm probably gonna watch the shit out of it and then maybe do a little review video here for you guys of what I think of the extended version. The theatrical version was okay. I felt it left out. They left out a lot of stuff that I think that you saw in the trailer and that people were hoping for or were curious about. And so we shall see if this extended cut works. Like I said, Rogue One comes out next week. I have my tickets to go with a big group of people on Thursday night at the local theater here in Cupertino. And we're going at the 7:30 show. And I'm going to be taking my son with me. So his first movie in the theater was Force Awakens. So he's only 5, but I think he can stick it out for the 2.5-hour movie. He really likes Star Wars, and yeah. So that's about it. I need to get going, and as usual, I'll see you next week.